All right, welcome to Unethical Hoops, episode number 7. Today we're doing a little bit of a lighter topic about we're doing soccer and basketball comparisons today. So, which players in each sport remind us of players from the other sport? And if I sound a little different, it's because I'm sick. So, yeah,
Get well soon.
I've been sick like this whole week. So we'll see. But yeah, let's get going. This was your idea, Mia, actually. So how about you get us started?
I could get started with a very unjuicy comparison, but it's probably the most accurate I could think of. Because people are always like, oh, who's Messi, who's Ronaldo, who's LeBron, who's MJ, but there is a very easy comparison I thought of, and it's Tim Duncan and Paolo Maldini.
Oh, Tim Duncan and Maldini? Go ahead.
Yeah, so both of them considered arguably the best defender of their sport. Both of them have 5 championships. Maldini has 5 UEFA championships, and Tim Duncan has 5 championships. They are both franchise players. They played for one team, and they are legends of that franchise. And they are both also considered the saviors and legacy builders of that franchise because even though Milan has a great history, most of it was during Maldini's time. Same thing with the Spurs. And I don't know if I think that's probably the most
That's a good one, actually.
accurate comparison I could think.
That's a
Yeah,
really also both switched positions in their career because Maldini
yeah,
played like center
they both did.
back and left back, and he's seen as like I think he's
Yeah,
seen as clearly the best of
he
both.
started as a left back and
I think
what?
if you ask around, people will probably say Maldini is the best left back ever. But that's also some of it is FIFA, and people just go off FIFA, and he's cracked on FIFA. But I like
And
that one actually a lot.
he also played like half of his career as a center back, which is the same as Tim Duncan,
Exactly,
who's the
it's
best power forward
exactly
ever, but he played half of his career at center. Right?
exactly. And like Milan was like this crazy defensive dynasty that like no one could score on. He played with Baresi, if I'm not mistaken, in his early years. Like
Ferretti and Costa Curta, and in the later years it was Nesta. Yeah,
this, that, I like that comparison a lot. Actually, that was a good one. Okay, my first one is a little
yeah.
bit like
I'm a Milan fan, so yeah.
that one. I like that one a lot. So I would say one of the ones I've always thought of is Lionel Messi and Stephen Curry. It's obviously both undersized, both are supremely skilled with the ball, both long range scorers. Like Messi is was also this incredible long shooter. Both redefined all of the statistics, everything we saw, like how Messi had that 2020 has his 91 goal season, and Steph obviously had 2016. Both actually had their big triumph in 2022, if you can believe it. Steph got his Finals MVP, and Messi got his World Cup. Um, and this is also, it's like if Steph Curry didn't have to play defense, then he would also be considered near the goat, or at least close to it. But unfortunately, he has to play
Is it
defense.
more of a play style comparison?
It's very much a play style comparison. The other one I thought of was just Jokic, because Messi is obviously good at passing, shooting, dribbling, everything, and for a center, Jokic is also good at everything on offense. So that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of. But Messi is also like it's like Steph Curry if he passed like Magic Johnson. So
Oh, I actually thought Messi was the most difficult because I thought it's either MJ or LeBron, and then you said Stephen, he also makes sense. But all three of them make sense for different reasons. Sorry. Steph for the reason you mentioned, the play style. MJ for the dominance over an era and being the arguable GOAT. And LeBron also for being the arguable GOAT, but also for the longevity, which is probably why LeBron is closer to Cristiano Ronaldo uh, in terms of just being that good for that long and being the all-time leading scorer. I guess if Messi's Steph, then Ronaldo's LeBron, and let's just assume that Steph is better. Uh, I don't.
On
Yeah, I don't
offense,
think we should. Yeah, I don't think we should put the comparisons in consideration between like two players
no,
together,
you
like
can compare
one
to
for
one
one.
player.
Yeah, isolated one for one without
You can compare to
relationships
one
with
player
other players.
and still be like two people can compare to two players, but in soccer these two players are better, and in basketball the other two players are better. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be one obviously. But I
it's
also
actually
think like,
if we're
the
comparing two
thing
together, Magic and Bird would be the Messi and Ronaldo, not the other way around.
that's also not a bad thing comparison. Bird is actually not a bad shout either, but like better. But like Messi is probably could be the best dribbler ever. And
Yeah,
I saw this poll on Twitter where like what's Messi's worst attribute of passing, scoring, and dribbling? And I think the majority said dribbling. It's like he's the best ever at that. And that's his worst of the three. That just says something. He's also maybe the best passer ever, and he's also maybe the best scorer ever.
it's
Like
actually a
Messi is
weird.
just
It's a
Messi
weird.
lives as this.
It depends on which era of Messi we're talking about. Because younger Messi was insanely good at dribbling, but his passing wasn't there yet. He improved his passing when he started declining as a dribbler. So maybe when they say he's worse at dribbling, it's like younger fans who didn't see him
Even
in
even
his earlier years.
2022 Messi in the World Cup was doing disgusting things with the ball.
Yeah, but he's not like the GOAT dribbler that
No.
late in his career.
Like even
Yeah.
2019, dude, 2019 Messi is like 2018 LeBron. If we want to do one season to one
Yeah, but
season.
also not because of dribbling, mainly because of passing and
No, I was
scoring.
just
And
like he carried the team like a motherfucker.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was
Like he was the
unbelievable.
offense in 2019.
Dude, 2019 Messi.
And
Messi is just fucking crazy. I can't even like he lives this like he like Steph Curry is not as good as Messi at basketball as Messi is at football, but Michael Jordan is also not as good at basketball as Messi is at football. No one is as good at anything as Messi is at football. It's just he lives this in his own world.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
I just thought of something. That was not because I just said that LeBron is Ronaldo, but the perception and rhetoric, you could actually say that Kobe is Ronaldo. Because he's, first of all, the scoring part, the clutchness, and the rhetoric. Like some people would say he's the GOAT, others would say he's not even top five. I think that's another, like in terms of perception, Ronaldo and Kobe are very similar, but in terms of
They both
the
have
player
five,
and the
right?
career, it's lovely.
Ronaldo has five
Five
Champions
champions.
League. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And
Uh,
I guess Messi has four, so the LeBron Kobe thing kind of plays into it there.
yeah,
If you
but I don't think people talk about that much because of the
I
World
think
Cup.
I've like the 10% of people that think Ronaldo's the GOAT over Messi brings up the five Champions Leagues like every chance they get.
Yeah, but like the World Cup canceled that argument out. It was before the World Cup that was an argument, but after the World Cup, I haven't seen anyone say it.
No,
The three-peat too, like Ronaldo three-peated, Kobe three-peated. So
that
yeah,
is true. Yeah, I think that's a fine one. I think I also thought about KD for Ronaldo. I think obviously both were kind of this almost hero coming up when they were young. And then when Ronaldo went to Madrid, he kind of became more of this villain type. In a sense, I would
hmm
say like when KD went to the war, like obviously the 17 Warriors and a lot of Madrid teams have many comparisons because those Madrid teams was always
yeah,
like the best players in the world. Not that the other not like Barcelona had great teams as well. I'm not saying that, but like the Galacticos is obviously some of those like the 17 Warriors. The Galacticos and the Heels is
yeah,
another comparison actually, where you just get all of these great players from different teams to join in on one team. The Heatles and the Madrid had like every good player from every team in the early 2000s, and then they did it again in their part two of it, the 2010s.
That would make Benzema the Stephen Curry, because he
Could
got
say.
his triumph after Ronaldo left, and also he was the space provider, you know, in terms of being the engine of the offense, but not being the best player. He's actually, in terms of play style, I think Benzema is very similar to Messi as well. Not the shooting, of course, because that's not the equivalent to what I'm referring to, but the tactical impact.
I actually I
Very
had one.
difficult.
I had one
Go
here.
ahead.
So we have a player in the NBA right now, Jaylen Brown, who the advanced stats do not like Jaylen Brown, but he has
Do not tell me Gareth Bale, please.
No, I'm telling you someone else. But he has his fans, and I think a lot of people think he's underrated by these advanced metrics. Even the advanced metrics guys think he's underrated by the advanced metrics. But I think Didier Drogba is obviously a guy who the stats have been under, at least the stats, how his stats and his perceived impact have always been diverging a lot. So I think Didier Drogba and Jaylen Brown, I think you could make some comparisons.
That's a good one, but Drogba is always associated with clutchness over everything else. Who's a player who's really clutch,
Reggie
but
Miller,
doesn't really have? Yeah, Drogba and Reggie Miller could actually be.
because Reggie Miller was a
one.
player of riser, like oof.
Yeah, and also he didn't have that crazy statistical, like even surface level stats were not that high. He was averaging like 20 points. But then he'll go to the playoffs and turn into a demon. Didier Drogba was like that. He's a finals player. He's a big game player, but his average game to game is not as good as the other players he's in the conversations with. So you could say Reggie Miller is the Drogba because of that. But unlike Reggie Miller, Drogba actually won because of that clutch.
Yeah, he got that one Champions League where he was clutch. He was really clutch. Like
and
he
even
had
the
that
leagues,
2 minutes
the
left.
league and cups as well. He has a lot of goals in the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of one that would be great. Thierry Henry and James Harden. Or even Mo Salah and James Harden.
There's definitely some the left-handedness, left-footedness. There's definitely something there.
And the criticism of like clutch big games or like play. I mean, not actually big games, because Salah was good in the Premier League big games, but not in the final.
Like all the finals, he always got called because I think his only final goal was the penalty against Tottenham.
Yeah, so it's bad finals, but not bad against good teams. So you could say like Salah is
he was
close
awesome
to
against Manchester City always,
and also great numbers, but not very great perception. His numbers are higher than it. Like he's one of the leaders in points and in assists. Both of them are like that, but both of them are not really treated like that by many fans.
There are many
so
people
both of them
who think Salah is an all-time great Premier League player.
Yeah, and a lot of people think James Harden is also one of the greatest scorers ever. So it's like they're very like controversial players, and I think that's why I also mentioned Thierry Henry, because of he's an elite player in both points. I mean, goals and assists, and also he had some finals stinkers. So yeah, both of them are very similar to James Harden in a way.
What about some of them? Maybe we can get people a little dressed for the World Cup. Maybe we'll save that. But also, is there any current players that are like you can compare them to? This is the I don't know LeBron and LeBron's back. This is the Wemby of the soccer or anything. The current players that are going to the World Cup. Is there any?
Lamine Yamal?
Lamine Yamal is like the prospect of prospects coming up. Did you see what
Yeah.
happened when like there's some people who suggest he should stop playing for Spain. Did you see that?
What? Why?
Because some of the Spain supporters, or a big part of them, was racist towards Egypt. Actually, so you guys with like
Oh yeah, he
anti-Muslim
posted some.
things, and Lamal is a Muslim apparently. I didn't know.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he posted something. He's Moroccan, of Moroccan descent, and I've seen him with his grandma, and she's Muslim. I didn't know if he was Muslim himself, but he's obviously not practicing, but he's like at least from a Muslim family, immigrant family. So he said he's Muslim. That was the first time he actually said it. It's in his Instagram post to denounce what the fans said. I didn't even know that the fans were being racist, but Bedri talked about it. Yamal talked about it. I think the coach of Spain also talked about it. So that's how I knew about it. But yeah, he's playing for Spain for sure. I mean,
Yeah, it's not like he's
that was
gonna
a
put
good
any.
game against Egypt, though. That was
Um,
I enjoyed not losing to them so much, especially
yeah,
in the absence of Salah too. So yeah,
Yamal is definitely
uh,
like the Wimby, the big up and coming
yeah.
prospect, potential goat of soccer coming up. Like he was like set, but he was like 17 and going off in like the Euros, the European Cup. Like he was amazing. He was like the best player of like one of the biggest tournaments in the world. So he's definitely like that. Another guy is Mbappe. Mbappe is this extreme speed demon. I almost compare him like it's not one to one, but I compare him sometimes to LeBron because when I watch LeBron from like '09 play, he looks so different from everyone on the field or the court with him. When you watch Mbappe run with people, it just looks like it's different. I don't want to say race, two different species. Like one is like a dog chasing
I mean,
and
Dwayne Wade is a good
Dwayne
comparison.
Wade's a good one. It's like he's moving at twice the speed
Yeah,
of
because
he's
he's
running
also
against. He's also an amazing dribbler, Kylian
yeah. I
Mbappe.
mean, yeah. I think Dwayne Wade is the comparison also because Mbappe, like, if you ask anyone after the 2018 World Cup, how many Ballon d'Ors would he have at 26? I think people would assume it would be more. Now he hasn't won yet. Dwayne Wade is similar in that regard. People thought he would be more accomplished, but of course the difference is not. I mean, he's still young. He hasn't gotten injured or anything, but a very good player. Like skill wise, he's up there with the greats. But his career is still lacking in a way. So yeah, I mean, not really lacking. He's got a World Cup gold medal and silver medal, but I mean, his club career is still lacking.
They also
So yeah, that's his
they
up.
also won the Champions League, like the biggest club tournament, like right after he left. He left and then they won.
Yeah,
Like
and the team he went to, won right before he joined.
yeah.
That's actually a very like if this happened to a player in the NBA, that player would be the most hated player in the league
It was like
immediately.
no, not Mark Aguirre. The guy Mark Aguirre was Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley was the guy where the Detroit Pistons run right after he left.
What?
Adrian Dantley.
Ah,
He was with the '80s
yeah,
Pistons, and
yeah.
like they run
But
the
that
year after he left.
comparison points offensive.
There's like one more. It happened recently, didn't it? Why can I not remember who it was? It was maybe someone was hurt. I can't remember. I'll say it if I ever get back to it. But
Wait, what happened? Sorry, I didn't
I was
catch
just
that.
I feel like it happened kind of recently that someone left and the team won. Like they got so much better like right after he left. I mean, the Knicks went
Uh,
to the finals without Patrick Ewing. That's one other comparison.
yeah, but they were the eighth seed. Like they didn't go there because they became a great team. It was just to be fair though, PSG got a lot of players. Like let's not act like
They got a
I
new manager,
mean
right? Or like at least he got more power and
they got a
can.
new manager and new players. I mean they have Dembele, they have Kvaratskhelia, they have
He got the
Barcola,
Ballon
they have
d'Or winner.
Doué, they have Vitinha. They have a lot of great players. Even the players who were there became better. And it has nothing to do with Mbappe. They hit their peak. Vitinha is a much better player than he used to be, for example, and that has nothing to do with Mbappe. Because if this happened in basketball, people would say, "Oh, this guy became good because the other guy left." But they play completely different positions, so it's not like Mbappe was hindering Vitinha from hitting his peak. Um, so yeah, it's. I mean, he would have been infamous, like notorious, if he played basketball and had that kind of career. But
If it
he's
would be like if the Thunder run after KD, like right after KD left, and they would beat the Warriors,
yeah,
and then won like if they had won
that
in
would be
six.
crazy. I think every basketball fan in 2017 wished for the Thunder
That
to
would have
beat the
been
Warriors in a
hilarious.
7-game series.
I mean, it would have never happened ever, but it would have been
It
hilarious.
wouldn't happen, but we all just like that was every fan's wet dream in 2017. We actually wanted to see that series at least, like even if they're not
Yeah, at
beating
least a
them, like
series
just to see.
because they were doing the whole cupcakes. Everyone was calling him a
Yeah,
cupcake and soft, and that was hilarious.
yeah. Another comparison I think of now, I thought of actually while I was thinking of the Maldini one. A comparison to KG is probably since he's a bit underappreciated. I'd say Philippe Lam.
Philip Lams is a good one. He's definitely underappreciated.
Yeah. He's
Mm,
very good in like everything. He's one of the greatest defenders ever, and he's even when he played in the midfield, he was one of the best passers in the world. And he actually had a crazy stat for like 11 months. He was among the leaders in Europe in tackles without gaining a single yellow card, which is a crazy stat to have.
I have one, and this is Luka Modric and Chris Paul, because Luka Modric obviously have aged incredibly well as like a small midfield point player, this general in the midfield, and Chris Paul is like basically the same thing, like a point guard,
Yeah,
like running the offense, being a passer, making sure everyone gets the ball. Aged like fine wine. Both were amazing. Young came to like an kind of outside team when he was in New Orleans, and Modric was in Tottenham. So I think those two are actually pretty good comparisons.
I actually remember the first time I heard of Luka Modric. He was, of course, playing in Tottenham at the time, but I didn't know him much. And it was a video about Steve Nash. The video was titled Steve Nash, the Luka Modric of basketball. And that was young Modric before he went to Real Madrid. And they looked alike a lot, like just
Yeah,
aesthetically
white
speaking.
guy,
But
long hair.
yeah, and also the way they played was very similar, like in terms of
Yeah,
the highlight. Uh, but Chris Paul is a good comparison, but I think Steve Nash is closer just because of the aesthetic and because of that video that like I don't know it stuck with me. I couldn't find it later. I think it got deleted, but it was my introduction to Modric. I although I watched the Premier League, I didn't really notice that he was this good uh, until he like the last year in Tottenham. That's when I realized, okay, this guy's actually good. Yeah. So who else?
I
Diego
had
Maradona. Who?
I had one. If we're going all time, I had one, and this is a mix of two players. So Pele is Will Chamberlain mixed with Bill Russell, and it's just his
I
legacy.
thought he, I thought
Because
it was
like
Di
obviously
Stefano.
like we have all these fake Pele stats about how he scored 1,000 goals, and they count like his U14 games against blind people. And we also had like he's the ultimate winner and so on, which is also really fake because it's based on him winning in Brazil's league, which was good at the time. Let's not like Brazil in like the 60s was better than way better than it is now because people didn't go to Europe and they had the best national team in the world. But he also he has three World Cup wins, which is the most by anyone. One of them in '62 he barely played. Like he played like
Yeah,
one
he
game.
got injured, and the
He
team
got
was
injured.
carried by.
In '58
Yeah.
he was amazing. Like he was 17 and maybe the best player in the world. So all of that he earned. And then in '62 he barely played and they won the World Cup, which also says something on how good that Brazil team was.
I will say though, the reason he barely played is because they injured him on purpose. So let's like
Yeah. But like we're
that
trying to
that
like
shows how
giving
good
him.
that shows how good he was. Like
Yeah,
if
they were
they're
injuring
injured,
him on purpose.
like,
No doubt. And then in '70, in his last World Cup, he was kind of older. I don't think he had that great of a World Cup, if the stories are true. Like, not that it was terrible, but like, it's not the best ever. But like, and he won his third one, so it's more like he has a lot of these kind of fake stats stories about him, about how he scored 1,000 goals, and they just counting like his U14 goals or something. But then he also has this ultimate winner because he won 3 World Cups. But there's also a little bit of over exaggerating going on because he barely played in one.
yeah, I thought Billy would be Will, but I thought Bill Russell would be Di Stefano because of
Yes,
how more documented Di Stefano's career is, and he won 5 championships in a row. That was
the only reason I
uh,
said Bill Russell is because Pele has 3 World Cups. That's like the only reason I even brought that man's name up.
yeah,
Because he is more Will Chamberlain, just off the insane stories that a lot of them probably not true. But
but much more of a team player than Will, though. That's for sure. Yeah,
yeah,
he was like everyone loved him. Every one of his teammates loved him, and his coaches and stuff. Like that's something you cannot say about Will in a way. Uh,
oh,
Will was
R
probably
nine
not that
R
good.
nine is obviously Bill has to be Bill Walton. That's just a 1-to-1 comparison.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Best young player in the world, best player in the world, and then injuries. And he played a lot after the injuries. So that's although like you could say post injury R9 is better than Bill Walton
yeah,
post injury, but
for
that
sure.
is the only difference. Like at their peak though, yeah, that's a very good one.
Yeah, you should
I
like
just
people.
had
If you haven't heard it, go listen to some players talk about R9. And there's maybe some glazing going on. I'll not say that's necessarily not true. But like Rio Ferdinand, one of the best defenders ever, talking about him like he could do nothing with him. Probably couldn't like I think he scored 3 goals in that game he's talking about. So I'm not saying he's lying, but
yeah,
like
I saw that game,
uh,
and that's old R9, but like that's post injury.
that's post
I
knee
saw that game.
injury. The
Yeah, he
res-
was playing on one knee and playing like that and scored the hat trick on that Man
the
United team.
respect players that played on 9 have to him is like it's comparable to Messi. Like I don't even know. Like the things people say
Yeah,
about playing
he's
against
the
Messi.
only player I would compare him to Messi. Actually, I've watched
Exactly.
him when I was young, and I liked him so much. He's the first jersey I had, uh, but I think before I watched him, like before because I watched him when he was slightly older, like right after the injury with Real Madrid. That's when I first watched him. But before that, I think in Barcelona, he's probably has the highest peak I've ever seen. Even higher probably than Messi. His like if you just watch his goals video with Barcelona, that's one season by the way. He played there for one season. Just watch every goal he scored for them. It feels like every goal he scored was a solo goal. And he scored like 1 goal per match that season.
A little worse than
That
Messi,
was
but still impressive.
still like he was not. I mean, the team was not that good back then. So for him to score all of these goals, and most of them are just him running at 4 defenders, that was crazy. Like the way he just took the ball and ran. Like if he played today, he would be a left winger or something.
Yeah.
He would not be a
He's also
center
like the
forward
most
today.
cracked
He would,
FIFA
he'd
player
just-
ever. He gets extra, like, his legend also gets pumped up a bit because he's so good on FIFA. Like people
no, I
talk
mean
about
I
him
don't know.
like he's the GOAT, but they just forget he didn't play that, like his great, like his good period wasn't that long, is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah, it
people
wasn't
like
that long, but it was long enough to be
it
seen.
was
Like
awesome though.
he's probably the closest to Neymar, like close to Neymar and Ronaldinho in terms of skills. He wasn't really a traditional striker at all. He was just extremely skilled. He would get past anybody in any way. He didn't care, and he'd humiliate the defenders every time he got the ball.
Who is
So
okay?
yeah, like his reputation is warranted. I can guarantee you that he's not
It is for sure.
overestimated. Yeah,
It is definitely.
but
Um,
there was a player in my mind that I forgot. Such a one-to-one comparison. Do you have one until I think of the other
I had
one?
one I wanted to ask about. I was thinking about Ronaldinho,
Well,
who is like, and we can group Neymar in with him. There's definitely similar in a lot of senses, but
Kyrie,
this
you think?
technical genius. Yeah, I was thinking Kyrie. This technical genius that just, like, you could in '06 Yalma, you could not tell '06 Yalma Ronaldinho wasn't the best player he's ever seen. He was so good in that '06 season. It was crazy. That's the year he won
Yeah,
his
and
Ballon d'Or. And,
oh 04, 05, 06.
isn't that
Those
'06 he
seasons,
was?
he was.
'06 is when they win the Champions League. So it might not have been when he won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but those 3 seasons, he was like he was touring, like tearing the world apart because of how popular he was. Even like no one hated him. By the way, like he's one of the least hated athletes I've ever seen. At that
He got
level,
his. He
everyone
got
that
his.
when you're at that level, you'll always have haters. He did not have any haters.
He was just so good. But he was also, he didn't give a flying fuck about his body. Like,
Uh,
he won it in 2005, by the way. I just checked. But he ate whatever he wanted to eat. Like, just like Sion, I don't know. But like, he did not take care of his body, and that's why his career wasn't that long. But like, his best season in like 05, 06 ish was nothing short of spectacular. Like the best, like that's up there with the best the sports ever seen. Like, he was that good.
yeah, I mean, for a period of time, it was like 3 seasons. He was just doing things with the ball that you would only see in video games. And even in video games, you'd have to put the game on easy to do that. Like that, I don't even know. Like, I don't think we've seen anything like him except for Neymar, and that's why I think Neymar is underrated, by the way, because of how he did it in an even more advanced era. And people just didn't seem to care because they loved the robotic uh, nature of Ronaldo and Messi, I guess. But yeah, I think Ronaldinho. The only time I ever felt negative towards Ronaldinho was when I started comparing Neymar to him and how Neymar was just in the wrong era. If he played 10 years earlier, even the longevity, like no one cared about the fact that Ronaldinho's career ended early. No one cared. No one said he wasted his potential. No one said he didn't care. No one said he should have done more. But with Neymar, it felt like because of Messi and Ronaldo, it felt like Neymar had such a chip on his shoulder, and now his career is always perceived differently.
Yeah,
So
I
I'd say
think
Ronaldinho was a bit lucky in that regard. If he
the
played 10
Neymar
years,
conversations lately have been absolutely disgusting.
what?
Like, did you see? I think it was 2 weeks ago or something. The Twitter conversations about Neymar was disgusting.
I
I
think
think
someone said something
everyone
about.
was saying everyone was better than Neymar.
Yeah, I've been hearing this. Some people said Gareth Bale was better than him a few years ago, and I mean, come on, I don't even know where to start with that one. Like, I I'm not sure if I like Gareth. I mean, I don't hate him, but come on now, Neymar is different, and you're comparing him with another guy who wasted his potential too. Like even the only
Oh, it's
tax that
Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney said, "I've never seen Neymar as a top player."
England. Yeah, I remembered what I was going. Thank you for mentioning Rooney. It wasn't Rooney himself. It was a team. England is the New York Knicks of football, the
Yeah,
English national team.
yeah, spot on.
And
So
that
it
goes
was.
for the fans, that goes for everything related to that city.
Oh, we gotta
The
bring
most,
this one. This one we gotta bring the PC when we do whatever World Cup preview we do, because this one is perfect. This one is
yeah,
like 1-to-1 because obviously they won their only World Cup in 1966. So right before the Knicks won their 2 championships. The England fans are the most annoying people in the fucking world. Like no one hates anyone more than people hate England. They they're so obnoxious. Like they made a song about the Euros. They've never won the Euros, by the way. They made a song
yeah,
that's football's coming home, even though they've made it. Our goalkeeper in Denmark actually told them, "Has it ever been home?" Because we played them in the semifinals and we lost in penalties, not in penalties. We lost in overtime due to a flopping penalty they kind of got. And if you were English in Denmark at that point, you would have been killed. Like, holy fuck! Like their fans are the most annoying people in the world. No one hits them, and they think they're so good, and they haven't won anything in forever. They always
yeah.
choke when it gets close.
Go
Like
on,
they
go on.
choke so hard.
It's exactly the Knicks. Like when you look at the Knicks, they're a big market team. They call them the Mecca of basketball. I don't know why. It's such
Oh,
a like.
in 18, they were playing Croatia. I don't think Croatia have ever been to a World Cup semifinal. They're playing Croatia in the semifinal to go to the finals, and they somehow end up losing. They almost lost to us in a Euro semifinal, in a Euro semifinals, and then they lost the final in penalties. And then all their players got racially abused by the fans.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember that now. The one where the youth players were the ones to take the penalties, the young players, and then they faced racism. Yeah, yeah.
And
I
all
think
like I think I saw a stat that like the highest domestic violence cases it has been in like forever was right after they lost the Euros.
that's crazy.
Like
That's not.
there's always like I think there's a lot. It's not just England. It's in other countries. It's in Denmark as well. It's probably in Egypt as well. Like when a country loses in soccer, domestic violence just somehow rises because the husbands get mad and they start beating their wives,
Oh my
which is
god. I've
like
never heard about this
terrible,
before.
terrible humans apparent. Like I don't know what men are doing to just start your
That's
sports team
wow.
loses and you start beating up your wife. It's disgraceful.
That's terrible. Yeah, I didn't
I
think about that before. Never.
since we are doing a team player comparison, I have one, and it's not the NBA. It's our friend MTEL. Our friend MTEL obviously won the PCL after coming in on a late cancellation. Someone not
Yeah,
joined,
Denmark.
and
He's
that is
Denmark.
Denmark from 1992, winning our only European championship because Yugoslavia, who beat us in the initial group stages, had to pull out because of a civil war in their country.
Yeah.
So because of the Civil War, Denmark ends up winning the European Championships, and this has forever been folklore in Denmark. Like I think I knew this when I was 4. Like every
Yeah.
little Danish kid know this.
My
So
dad told me
Emil
that. Yeah.
Emsel is 1992 Denmark.
That yeah, he inter. Actually, I don't know if you remember this because I think you joined the group right before the PCL play-in as well. He was the last to join, to the point that Ron was screaming on like live on the podcast. You have 15 minutes to join. Somehow, like make it if you wanna. And he made it right on time, and he won the play-in, and then he went on to win the actual thing. That was a crazy clutch performance. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, but the Mark story with the Euro is uh, alongside the Greek one as well. That's I heard
Oh,
both
the
of them when
04
I
one?
yeah the 04 one. The fact that they barely like squeezed by to win it,
Who
and
is a team like an 04 Piston? Like 04, not 04 Piston, 04 Greece. Like a team that makes no sense that they won, basically. It was such an underdog story.
the
I'm thinking,
Pacers, but they
yeah,
lost,
the Pacers
but
last year.
still, like
Pacers last year's not a bad one.
I don't
Maybe the
think any
04
team
Pistons?
won the championship, but there are multiple that made the finals, but not one that won the championships. Like the
The
Knicks
04
without
Pistons
doing
is actually not a terrible because that Greece team was also built on like defense. It's in the same year even. They were heavy
yeah.
underdogs versus the Lakers in the
Actually,
finals.
someone was talking about how crazy 04 is in sports in general and soccer in particular. Even the UEFA Champions League was won by Porto,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and yeah, and the Spanish, I think that La Liga was won by Valencia or something. I don't know, and also uh,
It's
the
probably
German
more
league
of a
was won.
March Madness comparison, to
Yeah,
be fair.
it was so many tournaments won by teams that were not supposed. Like it was like 5 Leicester City stories in the same year,
So,
and
so just to get back on the 04 Greece and 04 Porto is like the team that beat Hakeem Olajuwon like the 80s NCAA tournament was also like a huge underdog. There's a 30 for 30 made about them. Let me find the name. I think it was um so because a lot of like the soccer tournaments are obviously set up like March Madness, where if you qualify, then it's just a one game to win all.
yeah, it is. Yeah. Actually, that made me think. Am I the only one who thinks that Game 7 in the NBA Finals should be on neutral ground?
No, I definitely see it. NC
I don't know
State was the
why.
one that won, by the way. NC State
Oh,
won in 1983, beating Houston with Hakeem Olajuwon.
they didn't have any NBA, like future NBA players?
No, it's seen as like one of the biggest Cinderella runs ever.
Oh, okay.
There's a
Interesting.
30 for 30 about it. Pretty good one, actually. But yeah, Game 7 in the NBA Finals could definitely be on
Yeah,
neutral.
I don't think like I don't think getting the home advantage in the finals should be a thing, and I don't
But
think that will affect the regular season in any way. I think
I
teams
will
will still.
say, I will say that's probably also a logistical nightmare. Because you would have to have like this one neutral. I mean, you could just do it at another NBA arena. It's probably not that hard. You had to like have sell tickets to some event where none of the teams are playing that you only know happens like 3 days before. It's not like the Super Bowl where everyone knows the Super Bowl is going to be played here
Ah,
at this
yes.
time. Like it's a little bit. There's a lot of logistics that's probably a little harder. Where
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
okay,
really
it's
harder.
just
Yeah.
in this city and we know it's going to be here. So
But I mean, then again, the tickets are sold for the game 3 days later on that arena anyway. Like you don't know if there's a game 7, and they
yeah, but that's a
still
lot of season tickets, and fans can get a refund, and the fans will just buy it because, like a game 7 at your home court, there's no one who will miss that. Everyone wants to be there, so it will
maybe.
go so fast in the home city than it would in like a road city. There's some logistics to it. I also do like that it's something you play for. That like
Yeah,
I don't
like
I don't hate that it's like that you earned it in the regular season.
no, I don't hate it. I'm just saying it would be better if it was on a neutral ground because that would give it more of a like this is the final game, as opposed to either this crowd is celebrating or the team is celebrating alone.
Oh, that is true. That is
Yeah, I
true.
don't. Yeah, I don't see the teams winning the championship in an away ground, like in the opponent team's home ground, is always awkward to me. When I see that, it's always awkward. That's the trigger behind it. Like when I see a team winning
Because
on
the
the other
awkwardness.
team's home floor,
I mean,
yeah, it always feels so awkward. Like it's a celebration, but the crowd is like shaking their heads and like it's a celebration.
I think the one thing
Maybe
they
at
could do is
least
have
like
like having a away
50.
section like they do in soccer. I think that could make sense. Like
Maybe
in
they
soccer, you have
could
it
do like a 50-50 split and like not even maybe even 60-40 split on the tickets
even
would be
like a
better.
75-25. I think where like you have in soccer you have like this one end that's for the most. Where in soccer, like the ends are kind of split, so you have one end that's for the most dedicated fans. Then you have one where the away fan sits, but there's also other fans that kind of they're split with like a fence. And then you have the two for like one with the VIP seats and one with the normal seats. Is kind of how it's built. So I think you could have like where you give one end to the road fans. That could be a little more fun because then the players also have someone to celebrate with.
Yeah, because the number of away fans on an NBA game is always so low. It doesn't make it like a celebration when they win. So in football they always have more fans. Even when it's not neutral, like even in a regular league game, there are always more fans, more away fans than in an NBA game. I mean. So maybe that's like a middle ground solution to at least give the away fans a chance to come to celebrate with the team in case they win. Because it's always an awkward celebration when teams celebrate away from home. That's always weird. Like they even go directly inside. They don't even celebrate on the court. And yeah,
I think that's not. I had one. I had a question actually because this is a little bit related to the same. There's been a lot of controversy about assists this week, about how assist is calculated, about how it's tracked, about how what counts an assist or not. And in soccer, an assist is just the last pass before a goal. I think there's the one. It's for Messi's. He had a goal against a red. I can't remember who it was. It's a red and a white team. He scores from like the middle of his own sideline somewhere,
I
and
think
it's
it's
like the
Atletico
easiest.
Bilbao.
It's called the easiest assist Danny Alves has ever had. It's basically
Yeah,
literally
probably
gives Messi.
Bilbao. Bilbao, probably. Yeah,
I think it's against Girona actually, but like
yeah,
I
maybe.
think you know what goal I'm talking about. He gets the ball at like the sideline, almost at the half line, dribbles five different people and scores. And Danny Alves got an assist for that because it was the last pass before Messi started doing that.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
So
There's a reason Danny Alves is one of the highest assist
he has like
numbers
the
in
most
all
assists to
football.
Messi, I think.
He has, and he's among the all-time leaders in. Now he was a great passer and crosser and stuff, but I think part of the reason is because he played next to Messi as well,
Of course.
because of the passes, because most of them were passes, not crosses.
So what
And
would you think about how would you change assists? And what do you think about maybe my proposal would be to change assist to how it is in soccer, where it's like objectively, where it's more where it's objective, like it's the last pass before score.
I don't see enough of an issue to create like a new rule for it, to be honest. Yeah, sure, there are assists that are bias assists. Like I can see that. For example, Jokic in Denver, John Stockton in Utah, LeBron when he was in Cleveland. Like there are times in which you could say that the stat tracker is biased,
But even
but
the differences are
I don't think it's a big enough. I wouldn't think it's a big enough issue to like do something about. Maybe just make an undo thing for it. Like when Giannis tried to get a fake rebound for the triple double, and they didn't count it uh,
yeah. The
because
other rule
he
could just be
attempted.
no dribbles or one dribble.
There are, did you hear me? I was talking about the undoing thing would probably be it. Like you can just undo it after the game, remove one
Yeah,
assist.
I
That would be
think they
probably.
already do that a little bit, where they count something
Yeah, they
where
do. That's what I'm talking about. They did it with Giannis on the triple double. They canceled one of his triple doubles for a fake rebound. Uh, they did that a lot. So I'm saying, like, if something is too egregious, just remove it. But I don't think we need a new rule for it.
it's also not that big of a deal. Like it's a stat. Like just
Yeah, exactly.
it is what it is. Like it's
And
not like it's
and for the
technical.
most part, it's consistent. Like, for the most part, it's consistent. So I'm not really
This is actually one of
that
my
bothered.
sometimes one of my pet peeves, and we'll have a stat episode at some day. Don't I promise Grillionaire will do that at some point. We'll definitely do that. But with stats, I think sometimes people just focus too much on outliers. Like, yeah, sometimes there will be some assist where you're like, okay, that's not like there's no way that's an assist. But if it happens every 3 games and Jokic gets 11 assists per game, like it doesn't matter that much. Like that
Yeah,
point 0.3 extra assists per game is just not enough to be like to care that much about. The other thing is like with BPM and DPM about like I think it's because Jokic end up leading DPM sometimes because he gets a lot of defensive rebounds and steals, and he gets assist and that because not all of your assist is counting in offensive buck plus minus. In offensive bucks plus minus, some of it gets transferred to defensive bucks plus minus. Because how defensive bucks plus minus is calculated is actually just bucks plus minus offensive bucks plus minus. And then you have the defenses left because there's only two things in basketball. Either you're in offense or you're in defense. It's like, okay, maybe that is true. And that like, yeah, Jokic is not the best defender ever. He's probably one of the worst defenders ever, maybe. You can say that. But like okay, what if we hit on 99 other names and we get a kind of a good metric for it? Then that's fine. But just like, yeah, there's outliers, but that doesn't mean the stat is necessarily completely wrong and you can't use it for anything. You can use like these. I like to use these stats in kind of my economic work where you can use it. Yeah, there's going to be some where, yeah, Jokic is not the best defender ever. But if I wanted to use DPM to track some other things, like how I don't know how defensive box plus minus on each player connects to the overall team defense, then it's gonna correct itself if I get a large enough sample. So it's like sometimes like this one outlier, you just have to acknowledge, okay, it's an outlier. We can't use box plus minus or defensive box plus minus to call Jokic the GOAT. We just have to be aware that it will miss sometimes, but it also doesn't mean stats are wrong and we just need to only eye test things and can't ever look at any advanced metric.
I mean, tell that to those who changed it because of Westbrook. I'm not gonna say anything else.
I mean, I think it also I think it happens more than people. I think it sounds worse to change the stat because you observe something, but it's not like what happened isn't because he saw Westbrook and then just changed it because he needed to change it. He saw Westbrook was like, it's just something I need to change here. Then he came up with something that gave him a better model fit, is what it's called. It gave
Then
him,
do the same with Jokic. I
but
mean,
the problem is
at
if
least
there's
like
not
if
a
we're
like,
if we're
but
being
then
consistent.
but the problem with that is then if I include this to degrade Jokic DPM, but then I maybe lose Wemby's DPM, then and I lose other people, like I end up removing other things that make my model worse. Yeah, I've now corrected Jokic, but I've now made other people more wrong. Is my like
I-
a statistical
I'm
model?
sure they,
You can't just go and change only Jokic. It changes everyone's.
but they did again. We could say the same about the change with Westbrook. Maybe it affected other players as well. Like
But
I
that
don't
probably
remember it
improved
much
that that
beforehand.
made enough improvements where it made Westbrook's more correct, but it also makes maybe John Stockton's more correct. Because I think in the old Bucks plus minus, John Stockton was really low, and in the new one he was more high. So it maybe makes LeBron's more like we gain more things than we lose, is my point. That's how when you make these statistical models, you always have to look at it.
I mean, you're not gonna edit it drastically just to remove Jokic and then remove everyone else. You have to make it better in a way. But I still don't think it would work because defense in general is very difficult to
It is hard to track.
judge, even with the eye test. It's very difficult.
The
I
next thing
think the best
will be
people,
tracking cameras will be
the
the
best
next.
tracking what?
So you know how in soccer they can find XG and all of these things based on cameras following where each player is.
Oh yeah,
There's like a camera, or they have a west that locates them on the court or on the field. That's how you maybe find XG. You see, okay, a player is shooting from here with these opponents in front of him, and the goalkeeper's here, so his XG is 0.95. Like when you start doing that with basketball, like the players are here and this is this player here, then we can start calculating things like the expected field goal percentage at the rim. They're starting to do that now. They have expected shot quality,
yeah,
and there is some players
yeah. But
overperform
I
it.
think yeah, but in basketball it's different because how every player dominates is different. It's
Yeah,
more individual than soccer. And I also think even XG in soccer is very flawed. We've seen like when Liverpool tried to use it to play defense. I think it was the last season of Jurgen Klopp. Uh, they knew the very famous stat that shooting from the outside, like outside the box, is not an efficient shot. So they started letting players shoot, and they conceded too many goals from the outside because the reason the outside shot was less efficient before that season is because it usually gets blocked. But when you don't block it, when you're intentionally moving, like opening the space for it,
it becomes more efficient, obviously.
do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
I was saying, yeah, like Jurgen Klopp in his last season, uh, the team was relying on the fact that outside shooting is not um does not get like it doesn't have a high xg, so he let players shoot, like he told his defenders to let players shoot. I don't know if it was him or like one of his assistants, but there was a statistical analysis of the Liverpool team, and they ended up conceding goals because these outside shots were now more efficient because they're allowing them to happen.
Yeah, so they improved the XG of the outside shot by not defending it. I think that's all good. I
By
think
not trying to block it.
we will have a stats episode at some point, and then I'll maybe try to do my own, like I'll try to make an example of how to create an analytic, all in one analytic. But that's a teaser for another day. I don't I don't think we could have got a little hour in today. I think I don't have anything more. Do you have anything more, Amir?
Yeah, I did, but I don't remember it, so I guess it has to wait till next
It'll
episode.
come to next.
I
It'll
don't.
come next.
That's not really. I'm not used to being live at this time, so I'm kind of sleepy. So let's just call it a day, I guess.
All right. Have a good one, Amir. I'll see you next week.
Yep. Peace out.